All right, we're live. Hi, welcome. My name is Shay Coker, and welcome to the second edition of Coker's Chronicles. Today, I'm pumped to have probably the strongest man that will ever visit the program. He's a super heavyweight Olympic weightlifter and three-time Pan American Games champion, Fernando Reis. Welcome, Fernando.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much.
How have you been? It's been a while. The last time I saw you, it was before the all this stuff hit, and you were training for the Tokyo Olympics in a couple of months. That's since been rescheduled. How's your life been altered since then?
That's that was kind of like sad news, but I had to adjust to a new schedule. I was scheduled to compete on August 5th at the Olympic Games, so it would be my third Olympic Games. So definitely was something that I wasn't expecting, but it's something that is going to happen in a different way. Right now I have like one more year to prepare, so I pretty much have been doing the same thing that I always been doing. You know me pretty well, so the only thing that I do is train and keep my head down and just focus on my main goal. So that's what I've been doing, just different schedule. Right now I have a little bit more time to prepare.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Is it a good thing or a bad thing that it was kicked out for another year?
It's a weird thing. It's a weird situation, Definitely, like I was ready to compete on August 5th, but as everything got canceled or postponed, it's something that we gotta adjust. It's not like I'm gonna handle this situation and try to get the best out of this whole situation. So I definitely will have more time to prepare. And also, like, I've been recovering from a knee surgery. I had a knee surgery after the World Championships, so I'll have more time. It's going to be. I think it's going to be something good, and I mean, it is what it is. I hear a lot of people speculating. Oh, if that happened, if the situation, that's the situation. So you got to take the best out of it, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to train and I'm going to prepare myself for the next Olympics.
Yeah, as I know you taught a lot of classes before this. I would assume that those have slowed down a little bit.
Absolutely. They have like slowed down quite a lot. I'm really fortunate because my sponsors, they keep like providing for me, so they keep like investing on me. So I'm lucky to have them on my side. And even though that the classes were slowing down, there was something that I planned for this year. I planned just to focus on myself and try to really like 24/7 try to be the best that I can, so I can get the medal at the Olympic Games.
Yeah. Taking it back a little ways, your dad growing up was the weightlifting coach at Pinheiros, the sports club in Sao Paulo. I would assume that it would follow that you would become interested in weightlifting. Is that how it went?
Absolutely. The family always we were always involved with sports. My dad, he was also the director of the club in the Olympic weightlifting section. So that's how I got involved in Olympic weightlifting. I've practiced many different sports at the club, and I started when I was 10 years old. My dad put me in the sport, and that was really funny. I was talking the other day with a friend of mine, and when me and my brothers, we were super young, we had two obligations, and there was no discussion. You had to go to the school, and you had to practice a sport. Regardless if you don't want to do it, you had to do it. That was our obligation. So that's what my dad taught us, and thanks God we have like something to look for every day to do it.
That's awesome. So I noticed that your family is extremely important for you, not only as a person but for your career. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. My family is my whole base. Everything that I always achieved and always done was with their support. And my dad was always super tough at the beginning when we were young, because you know us. It's three criminals that got involved in this sport. So my dad was a pretty tough guy, and he taught us well. But I mean, everything that I do it, like I'm involved with my family. Most of the decisions that I take, I talk to them and I let them know what is going to happen and how it's going to happen. And my dad always tried to direct us in the best way. He always gives the option. You can do this way. It's going to be the right way. It's going to be the most. It's going to be the hardest way, or you can do it your way. It's going to be the dumbest way, and you have to redo it out. You have to redo it again. And most of the times we got the wrong way, but then we learn with our mistakes.
Well, I can't imagine Silvio would be a criminal. He seems like a nice guy.
No, we are good criminals. Good criminals. Everybody's nice. Everybody's nice.
So you're in the super heavyweight division in Olympic weightlifting, which is now classified as 109 kilos and above. So it's 240 pounds. You've competed against some titans like Bedad Salimi, who's 6'6", 364 pounds, and current world champion record holder Lasha Tallahatsi, who is 6'6", 372 pounds. You're listed at 6'2", 309. Is that fair? Is becoming as heavy as possible, one of your goals, or are you not worried about it?
That's a great question. I think first, the word's not fair. There is no fair. You gotta fight for it, and whatever it takes, you gotta do it. But absolutely, in the super heavy division, you gotta be as heavy as you can, and don't lose your athletic ability. The problem with me that I'm 6'1", and if I get too heavy or too fat, you can put it this way, I'm gonna lose speed. I'm gonna lose flexibility. So I really have to balance in a way that I can get as strong as I can without losing my athletic ability to move. So for sure, those guys, they're a little bit taller, so they can carry a better, heavier weight. But it is what it is. Again, like the world is not a fair place. You gotta fight your way through it.
And there's to be fair, there are some shorter competitors in your group, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. So when you're headed into a competition or a meet, are you focused on the competitors, or do you focus only on what you can do?
That's a great question, buddy. That's a great question. I would say that I always focus on myself. All the competitions that I try to focus on the environment and on the outcome, I end up competing bad. So always when I try to observe what is going on around me and I don't focus on my task, I don't do well. So that I learn with the time, So right now I always try to focus on myself, do the best that I can, and then the results is gonna be what it is, whatever you put in the competition, you're coming out of it. I really like to compete. The competition for me is always a fun time. Doesn't mean that I'm not scared. Always when I go to compete, I'm afraid to compete. It's like I don't want to fail, so that's why I train so much. That's why I devote myself every day to be the best that I can. But I do enjoy competing a lot, and always when I'm focused 100%, I don't focus on the environment. I don't focus on what others are doing. I end up doing well.
Take us back into the back room, the warm-up room of a competition, and your preparation. I mean, if people haven't seen one of these things live, it's pretty amazing, and there's a lot of strategy involved that I was unaware of. It's not just you go out and lift as much as you can and you go home.
No, it's not. It's not. You really got to play the game. You got to be smart. It's like playing chess with your athletic ability. You can time. Timing is a great asset that you have during the warm up, because you got to time how many attempts you got. So you have to warm up properly. Otherwise, you're gonna be cold or you're gonna be really tired. And you gotta watch the timing and other lifters what they are doing, so you can really have the right window to lift at the platform. So it's something that you gotta be really aware. You gotta have a good group around you. Usually the coach or the head coach is watching that as well, so you can work together and have the best strategy. Some competitions you can win by doing a good strategy, and I had a good strategy in 2016 at the Olympic Games where we put out Salimi. Salimi, he missed the clean and jerk in the first attempt, and I supposed to go in the same weight with him. So if I would have done the same weight, he would have more time to recover. So in the last second, we jumped to a higher weight and we throw him in the fire. So he didn't have enough time to recover. He had to follow himself, which means like we are super heavy. Like we don't if we don't have a good window to recover, most likely you're gonna bomb out and you're gonna miss all the attempts. And that's what happened with him. And I went up to 247 and I was ready to lift. Then Lasha, he already won the competition. He came down to 247 and he took me out of the attempt. So I had to walk all the way backstage to redo it my knee wrap. So I ended up like losing time and I was cold. So I played Salimi and Lasha played me. You know
Wow.
that's the strategy that goes.
I watched that games. I didn't even know that. I mean, I knew about
Yeah.
Salimi, but I didn't know that he had played you like that.
Yeah.
So some athletes do their best in practice and perhaps not perform their best in the spotlight, like in a competitive meet. It seems like you're the opposite. It seems like you really thrive and you have your best lifts when the spotlight is most intense. What is your mindset like when you go into the World Championships or the Olympics? How do you prepare for that?
That's a great question, Shay. That's a great question. I would say that that's the day. That has to be the day. You know, it's something that, of course, you might have like a little bit of question in your head if it's going to be good, but the competition has to be the day. And there are many athletes who perform much better in training, and whenever they go to the competition, they are so tired, or they've done something wrong throughout the preparation. Before the competition, like the week before or 10 days before, usually the pre-competition period, it's something that you really have to take care of yourself, and you have a lot of time that you don't do anything. You pretty much like you train 1 hour a day, and then you have 23 hours of the day to recover. So if you have your mind, like if you have like anxiety, if you have other issues going in your head, you can end up like doing bad in the competition, you know. So it's something that you gotta have your head in the right place, really trust the process, and be able to put everything in the competition. So what I try to do it a way that I like to focus myself. I like to do a lot of visualization. So every time that I go to bed or I'm resting, I try to visualize the competition as many times as I can, play the movie on my head as many times as I can, play the attempts, play the feeling that what I'm gonna feel, play that I'll be scared, I'll be tired, I'm gonna feel pain. I know that like on the clean and jerk is a really tough competition, so I'm gonna put my body through a lot of stress. So I try to visualize that as in many details that I can. So at the day of the competition, I already done it. You know, in my head, it's already done it. So I just gotta go through the motion and let my body do the rest, pretty much.
When approaching a competition like this, do you actually lift? For example, you did, I think the last, one of the most recent events that I saw you did a 201 kilo snatch. Do you do that in practice, or do you save it for the competition? And
usually, that's also a great question. Usually for me, I save it for the competition. Of course, if I had the physical, how can I put that? If I would have like been really good shape, I can do it in training, but I cannot test myself close to the competition. I have to have like a good window of usually the super heavy division, 21 days, where you must recover your nervous system. You must deload so you can compete well. You know, unless you like Lasha, he trains heavy pretty like close to the competition. Like even a week before, you can watch the videos of him like doing super heavy lifts. For myself, I'm not able to do that. I need a little bit more time to recover so I can compete well.
What's your day-to-day like training? I mean, I imagine it's similar to a lot of other professional athletes, but take us through it, a typical day.
So I have two practice. The first one in the morning at 10 a.m. and then goes through 12:30. So it's 2 hours and a half. And then in the afternoon, I have around like I'll go to the second practice on 5:30, and then I'll finish at 7:30, something like that. So always when I'm not training, I'm eating, and I'm doing like some sort of physical recuperation. I like to do a lot. I go every day to sauna. I do a lot of ice therapy as well. I do physiotherapy with my physiotherapist. So it's pretty much like it's a boring life. You gotta pretty much train, eat, and sleep. There isn't much there isn't much fun about it.
What motivates you to keep going and continue this? I mean, I imagine it's fairly solitary.
It is in a certain way, absolutely. For me, I think what motivates me is going to be the outcome of the Olympic medal. It's something that is pretty unique, like there are many Olympic medalists in the super heavy division in the Americas. It's going to be the first human being to get an Olympic medal in the super heavy division. So it's something that no one has ever done it, and I'm really close to achieve it. So I think it's the being like unique, something that no one has ever done it, pretty much.
Right. Cool. So I imagine a lot of people watching this are not professional athletes, including me. But what kind of aspects of Olympic weightlifting can carry over to regular life? Why should guys like me, maybe weekend warriors, do it?
I would say like it's Olympic lifting is a great way for you to stay in shape, to enhance your performance overall. Whenever you're doing Olympic lifts, you're hitting the natural position. You can put a baby to squat and he'll be in the perfect position. So whenever you're doing Olympic lifting, you're putting yourself in your natural position. You're getting stronger, you're getting like more mobile, you enhance your flexibility. So Olympic lifting is definitely like you can work really good, and it can be really good and really beneficial for you as a general health.
What we've got a question from another Fernando, basketball player. He's asking what's your eating habit? What are your eating habits like to get stronger?
That's another great question. Like usually, whenever I'm in the base period, I usually eat like around 10,000, 11,000 calories.
Wow.
So it's pretty much eating a lot every day. As I get closer to the competition, I tend to lean a little bit. So it drops to 7,000, 5,500, 7,000, around that. Usually, I try to go and check the scale. If I'm losing too much weight during the night, when I go to bed and when I wake up, that means that I'm in a shortage calories, so I gotta eat more. But it's pretty much eating every day as an animal, pretty much.
Eating like an animal. All right.
Yeah.
When you one day transition out of the professional weightlifting category, do you plan to change any of those habits or?
Absolutely. I think as you get older, you got to understand your body, and absolutely you don't need that much of calorie. You're just putting a lot of stress on your body and your nervous system. So as I slowly stop competing, I'm gonna do a lot of changes in my diet for sure, and lose weight and try to stay healthy. But absolutely something that is not recommended to do it. Remember, like being a professional athlete, you're not doing very good for your body. You're pretty much harming every day and trying to observe the stress so you can get better. That's the way it is.
Yeah. You have tons of followers on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, etc., where you post a lot of your workouts. You post the workouts of your students. How important for you is it to teach others about your craft?
I think it's very important. It's very important. It's very. I'm very grateful that I can share a little bit of my knowledge, and also I think my main objective is to teach people how to lift in a safer manner. Because when I started, everybody was saying that, oh, if you lift weights, it's gonna be bad for you. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt your back. You're gonna hurt your knee. And for me, it doesn't make any sense. You know, if you do it in the proper way, if you have a good coach to teach you, you can lift as much weight as you can, or as it's possible. So for sure, it's very important to teach others and share a little bit of my knowledge, and that's something that I'm grateful to do it for sure.
How does the whole CrossFit movement relate to Olympic weightlifting?
It's great. I think CrossFit brought a lot of light for Olympic lifting. Olympic lifting was never a popular sport. Even today, it's like still growing, but CrossFit brought a lot of light so people can relate to it. So normal folks who are trying, I don't know, 40 kilos snatch or 50 kilos snatch, they can relate, and they can see how complex it is, the movement, you know, how good you got to be. So it is easier to a regular guy to relate to a professional athlete. He understands the movement better for sure.
Yeah. A lot of people confuse powerlifting and Olympic weightlifting. There obviously some similarities, but the movements of the Olympic weightlifters are totally different and highly complex, right? I mean, I think you told me once that the snatch was considered the second hardest or most difficult movement in the Olympics. Or is that true?
Yeah. There are studies who say that snatch is the second complex exercise. The first one is not javelin. What do you call in track and field? The one that you jump through. I forgot the name in English.
Oh, the pole vault.
Pole vault. Yeah, exactly. So they were saying that the pole vault is the hardest one, is the most technical event in the Olympics, and the second one is the snatch. The snatch, you gotta move a heavy load, and if you timing from the floor above your head, it's gonna be less than 1 second. It's gonna be 0.8, 0.9. So and you gotta lift like with a perfect technique, otherwise you won't be able to sustain the weight overhead. So it's a pretty technical exercise that everybody can do it if you're learning the right way. But it is a really simple exercise, but the same way it's really technical.
Yeah. What's your favorite between the snatch and the clean and jerk?
I gotta do both. So I don't have a favorite. I have to do both. I must do it.
Right. Do you often compare your lifts to other power lifters, like when you do squat
or deadlift?
Yeah. Deadlift.
Maybe like the other, a lot of people have sent me the 501 kilograms that Thor just broke the world record.
Right.
Like I think it was last Saturday. Yeah, but absolutely, you see it, it's so much weight, and you said, oh, just wondering if I could try that. But it's a different sport, you know. It's something really different. It's something that you gotta be super strong, and you gotta be even heavier than I am right now, and so you lose a little bit of flexibility, you lose a little bit of your athletic ability. You know, it's not something that you can transfer to your regular life.
Gotcha. Just out of curiosity, are some of these power lifters on steroids?
Of course, absolutely, no doubt about it. Powerlifting, strongman. There are a lot of events that are not drug tested, so they can do whatever they want. You know, they are not cheating or they are not breaking the rules, because there aren't rules. It's pretty much open division. You do whatever you want. and that's one of the reasons why they are not Olympic events. For you to be an Olympic sport, you gotta go through a really hard doping control. Myself, I get tested like around like 10 times a year, even more sometimes.
Wow.
So it's a different game for sure.
How do they test you?
You,
If you're in
you,
Miami, what do you do?
you gotta fill up, get in the website. There is the athletes who are controlled yearly. So you gotta go. The name is Adam's whereabouts, and you gotta pretty much provide your whereabouts, where you are, where you live, where you sleep, where you train, and there is like a certain time that you must be in the time that you put it on. So, for example, this year I got tested in my anniversary with my wife. I was eating lunch. I was eating dinner, and they come to my house. They said we are here to test you. So
Wow.
thanks God, I was like 5 minutes from home, so I was able to come back and get tested. So that happens all the time. That happens a lot.
Wow, they just show up at your house. Okay.
Just show or the gym.
Okay. Um, do we have Flavia who's asking for some exercise tips for lazy people? What do you have?
For lazy people. But Olympic lifting can be for lazy people because you gotta lift and you gotta rest. You gotta rest, understand the movement, and do it again. I mean, if you're really lazy, that's hard. I don't know, maybe running. You can do it like in a really I don't know. For lazy people, it's hard. You gotta stop being lazy.
Aisha is asking, how do girls strengthen their core without lifting too much weight if they have a lower back pain?
If they have a lower back pain, for sure they have to address. They got to go to a physical therapist, go to a doctor, and most of the cases they are weak, so they got to work the core. They can do planks, but I think the most beneficial exercise is going to be the back squat. Where they're going to build like a good core, they're going to build good legs, they're going to build glutes, everything. So back squat is the most, I would say, the favorite exercise for girls, no doubt.
Um, What you're planning at least to go to Tokyo in 2021. What do you have plans after that? Do you plan to keep competing?
Maybe I'll go to another Pan Ams. So it's gonna be 2023. Yeah. So it's gonna be like 2 more years, but for sure Tokyo is my main goal. And then after that, I'm gonna try to capitalize as much as I can on my image. I'm gonna try to work on that. I also do a lot of seminars around the world. Try to meet different people, do some network, and see what is gonna happen. Lately I've been like reading a couple of the books on financing, how to invest a little bit. So you can help me a little bit on that, Jay.
All right, no, with pleasure. So your workouts, I forgot to ask you this. Your workouts, you're doing them every day. Do they get monotonous, for one, and then two? Who sets the schedule? Is it you? Is it your coach? Is it your brother? How does that work?
Right now, like I have my own schedule as far as what I'm gonna do. I have the microcycle, which is 12 weeks that I gotta like do it before the competition, and then this microcycle is divided in 6 different periods. I have the general preparation, basic preparation, special preparation, control of competition, pre-competition, and then transitioning. So each period of training, I gotta complete a task. Just for example, in the basic preparation, I gotta prepare the muscles that I'll be using most, which is legs and back. So I'll be doing a lot of strength exercise, squatting a lot, doing a lot of deadlifts. So each period, I'll be preparing my body in a different way, so I can be the most the greatest that I can put my body on it. But right now I have enough knowledge to prepare my schedule, and of course, whenever I have some doubts, I ask people who have more experience than I do. So just to double check what I'm doing is right or wrong.
I see. Your brother Horacio told me one time, he asked me what I was doing that day in the gym. And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, Shay, you have to know what you're going to do every day in the gym. And you have to know what you're going to do today and tomorrow and every day of the week. And not only that, every day for the rest of the year. And I was like, wow, that's a very prepared approach. Makes sense. So I assume that's the way you do it.
Absolutely. If you don't have a plan, you don't know where you're going to go. Well, right now, that's the case right now. For example, I'm training, but I only have I don't have the schedule for this year because other competitions got canceled. So it's pretty hard to be motivated and to like plan what I'm doing. If I'm going to peak right now, if I'm going to deload. So you gotta have a plan. It's the same, like you're going to do a car trip. You're going to drive somewhere. You got to check how much gas you have on you. You got to check if you have money to put, more gas. If you got to check if you have food. So if you don't have the plan, you're not going to go anywhere. So before the year start, we open the schedule, we open the calendar and said, those are the most important competitions. These competitions are not going to be very important. So we plan and we have the exactly date how we're gonna do it. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time.
Right. That'll put me in my place. So I'll be prepared next time. So thanks. Yeah, I think that's it. Hey, anything else that you'd like to share? Are you open to teaching via virtual methods or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think the world's changing right now, and I'm working in a platform. The name is Hybrid Performance Method. We have a lot of people from around the world where we have all the workouts in the platform. You just log in and then you can follow the training. And if you have any doubts, you upload your videos and I can work with you. So I think a lot of businesses are changing, and the workout, the fitness industry is always adapting and changing to a new area. Right now with this whole situation going down, we have to adapt for sure.
Yeah, cool. Fernando, it's been a pleasure. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure, brother.
All right. Best of luck in the Olympics.
Thank you.